Thursday night, about 8:30. I've had a busy week this week, but I haven't been able to make any vids, guys. I apologize. We're going to put this one up tonight. It's been a lot of really little tedious things, and I haven't shown them. So here's my bench, just covered in wiring and circuits and pieces and parts, trying to test everything out. I got some pressure switches for my brake system today. We couldn't get the ones on there to function last night. This is one that wasn't on there. This is in my box of extra parts. And basically how it works is this is where the fluid is. It screws onto your master cylinder. When the fluid goes in there, it creates pressure, connects the dots, you know what I mean, closes the circuit. So we'll put these on there. Hopefully it'll work. It's going to be a little difficult to do by myself, but I think we'll figure it out. Got all the brakes bled last night with my dad. We worked until it was today on it. With my wife out of town, she's kind of like my clock, you know. She tells me when it's, you know, enough noise and that sort of thing, and I usually know it's getting late. And I found myself last night about 2 a.m. Down here in the garage, and I thought, you know, I feel kind of tired. I ought to go upstairs. Went upstairs about 2 a.m. And I've been doing that pretty much every day this week because she's not here to tell me that she's going to bed. I usually just wait for her, and I don't know, my body doesn't tell time until it's the next morning, and then it feels really tired. You know, 3 or 4 hours of sleep kind of gets to me. I can do it a couple days in a row, but 4 or 5 starts to really get me tired. But that's where I'm at today. So anyway, I'll show you what I've been working on, unsuccessfully, unfortunately. This is a clock mechanism for the 74. It's an electronic version. Come on, where are we at? I'm still kind of out of sorts. Here we go. Clock for the 73 version, all mechanical. You know, no circuit card on the bottom. Just mechanical. Both of them are broken. So I replaced the capacitors on this one, this little blue thing and that little blue thing, because one of the capacitors was toast. I thought maybe that would fix it, but didn't. So I'm kind of curious now. I videotaped the whole thing because I was going to show people how to fix them, and then they didn't work, so I erased it. Because it doesn't really work to show you guys how to do shit that doesn't work, right? I think I may have gotten one of these caps backwards, and I erased the video that showed me how it went on there. So I'm going to flip it around and see if that works, but I doubt it will. Then this is a vibrator. Sally Red Ash, you might like that. It creates a consistent 12 volts. So sometimes your battery's like 13.1 volts, 13.6 volts, 11.9. This creates 12 volts so that your fuel gauge runs a little bit better or something. I don't know. Don't understand everything with it. But I got my fuel sending unit. This is out of a 74. And where did we go, Greg? Come on. Still not with it. Still not with it. Here we go. That one right there is out of the 73. It's a totally different style. They don't work together. It's either one or the other. I think this one's okay. I got to test it a little bit more. Fuel gauge was kind of bouncy. Didn't want to work right, so we're going to figure it out. There's little nickel chromium wires in here. What the hell they call that? Resistance wire. So this thing moves up and down along a resistance wire. And this one, the nickel chromium wire, is just out there. You can kind of see it looks like fishing string. So that's how that one works. So if this one doesn't work, the way to fix it is replace that wire. It costs about 50 cents for the wire. So I'm trying to find a source for that locally. If not, I'll order it on the internet. We'll rewind that together. And you can see how you make these little resistors. But I think it goes from 10 ohms to 75 ohms, somewhere in that range. So I got to test it tonight, see what the ohm range is. We just hooked it up to see how the fuel gauge picked it up, and the fuel gauge is real heavily weighted, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Anyway, that's it on that. I've got my speedometer out here from the 73. I'm just kind of taking things apart, put them together. We got our box of parts from Karmann Ghia Parts and Restoration. What else? Here's my little fuel door operator. I've got an issue. This one has a good grommet. Grommet's in nice shape, but this thing's all chewed to hell and corroded. This one here has got a nice looking piece on the end, but the grommet's jacked up. Well, these pieces are big enough that you can't get the grommet over the pieces. They put the grommet on and then they crimped it, I guess. So I think what I'm going to wind up using is bad grommet. I don't know. Maybe put a little silicone on there or something. I don't know. But I like the fact the mechanism isn't as corroded. I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm just tired. I'm not very interesting tonight. But anyway, here's what we're gonna do. Snap out of it, Greg. We're gonna get this little guy installed. Oh yeah, there's my buzzer. This is a seatbelt interlock relay. Keeps you from starting the car unless the seatbelt's on. It's got a couple sensors under the seat that tell it to not start. Well, it's also the buzzer when your keys are left in the ignition and you open the door. So that's the only part of that we're going to hook up. There's a couple pegs on there. I can't remember, number 86 and 85 or something like that. And that operates the buzzer. So we're going to keep that, but we're only going to use part of it. We're not going to use the whole interlock. I pulled up the tabs on this. I wanted to take it apart. It's a pretty simple deal. There's a contact here and this piece here that runs across these little wires. You can see the arc there maybe that it's run across for the last 40 years. And so the wires are wrapped around this little piece of whatever the hell that is. Son of a bitch. Just dropped my spring. I'll be back. So we're set to resistance reading. We start on this end, and this ohm meter isn't the world's greatest, but it's close. So we got almost 80 ohms right there. And then as we move across, I'll stop somewhere here in the middle. We got 32. Come on, buddy. Get a reading. Yeah. 45 ohms, somewhere in there. From here, 18 ohms, and then on the very end, I think it was about 7. Now that's saying 10. I guess we can go a little further here. Right there. Come on. Read it. Yeah. So we got 10 there, and about 80 there, 85. Somewhere in there, 85, 83, 82, 81. I hate these digital ohm meters, they suck. I made a couple short videos over the last couple days, but really nothing worthwhile. So I'm going to tell you what I've been doing. Under here, got the wiper motor in. Got a lot of my wiring going in. I know it looks a little sloppy right now. A lot of this is in test mode. Got our front harness done. We got our master cylinder wiring going in. Got my emergency flasher wired up, so all that circuit's been tested. What else have we done? Seems like we've done a lot more than that. I know we have. But right now, we're working over here on the fuel sender, and that's what we were just taking a look at. And so anybody out there who's working on an old Volkswagen like this, a fuel sender, this particular one, the 74 and up, I think, has these. And the Beetle has one with like a dual float in it. I guess the shape of the gas tank's a little different. But anyway, I guess I thought the Ghias had the same gas tank as the Bug, but apparently they don't. But there's supposed to be a little spring there. Mine was not on it, so it wasn't putting enough pressure. I was just testing the resistance between this little hole where this sits and this little piece here, and everything looks good. Everything looks actually really good. So this spring is too short to fit. That's why it wasn't sitting on there. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, this should be fun. Here, check it out. It's a slinky. Okay, we stretched it out. Now we're going to put it in. Maybe, again, I need bigger hands and smaller things to work with. That'd make my life so much nicer. Okay, so now we got a good little arc in our guy right there. So we're going to test the resistance through the whole unit somehow or other. So let's see, on the bottom, or on the top end, 85, something like that. That's what I saw. I thought I saw 85, 83, 82, 85. So there's totally empty. Then we come up here, 80 something. We're going to scream across. We're in the 40s, 50s, 30s, 30, 29, 28, 22, 21, 19, 16, 14, 13, 9, 7, 6. So there we have it. Our float works. We got good resistance, good numbers. Now we'll have to test the gas gauge. This video is for Alex. His YouTube username is PCSolver1. This is the... Oh, jeez. Just about tipped my tripod onto my car. I'm going to throw this thing out the frickin' window. I don't want a $5 tripod killing my car. God. So, the fuel release guy. Got my lamp up under here. You can see the gasket, or the seal for it right there. I can tell you, Alex, you have to feed this thing in from this side. So the little square part with the handle, let me show you, hang on. And you may know this because you took yours out. This part has to feed in underneath the fender there through the hole. Alex, I'm sorry, it didn't tape very well. The string didn't work, the string failed, but heating it up, I pushed the whole thing in to the inside to the trunk. I pushed that whole grommet into the trunk, and then I just slowly pushed the outside into the fender well here, and that worked really, really well. So that's how I'd suggest doing it, buddy. Took me maybe 2 minutes. There you are, all installed. Just a word to the wise, again, Alex or anybody else who's watching this, these guys right here, when you're taking your D handle on and off, is this spring here. You want to pull it out with the handle you have left, pull it out all the way, clamp these onto the spring, clump, and then take your handle off. Then put your handle on and take those off. You don't want to do anything to that handle without having that spring clamped in the out position, because you'll twist the cable inside and that'll snap it. I found out I got this little flapper in backwards. It needs to go 180 degrees, so I'll see if I can spin it around. That'll be fun. It was really tough to get it in there the first time, but I'm sure if I got it in once, I can get it in again. So we'll flip it around. I guess it's supposed to lay, the idea is it lays over the fender here so that the fuel filler doesn't scratch your paint. Got the gas tank going over there. We got our sending unit installed. Yep. Starting to make a little progress. I didn't get around to my brake guys tonight. Got busy on the phone, so we'll see you guys. Don't let your meat loaf.